What's up, folks? My name is Melvin, and welcome back to this amazing place that we call the internet. Now, I did say that I am trying to keep this channel as positive as possible. But there are caveats to that, if that makes any sense. Let me try to explain. So, for the most part, I am a positive person, but at the same time, I still say what's on my mind. I try not to censor myself if I don't need to. If I feel like I don't need to censor myself, then I don't. If I feel like I'm talking about something that is important and that, we should look at just in a deeper lens, I feel like we should. And I don't feel like that's necessarily negative. I really don't think so. I think dialogue like the one I'm about to have right now is important. It is very important to talk about these issues. To me, this is not really an issue, but I want to talk about it because, oh my God, it's so interesting. It's so interesting. But again, I'm not I don't feel like I'm attacking anyone. I don't feel like I'm harming anyone. I really don't. And you'll see what I mean. So yeah, we're gonna go through this article together. Twitch removes blind playthrough tag after disability criticism. Now, just with that title, just the idea that someone finds the term blind offense, like just using the term blind means that you are criticizing the disabled. I find pretty absurd. I really do. Because blind is used blind has been used in so many different scenarios that doesn't even have to do with gaming, the term blind as a bat and things like that. And then like people have used blind to describe certain scenarios, like when you're walking in the dark and things like that. And never once did I associate the use of the term blind with people who are actually blind, who actually cannot see. And I think people who are offended by this are kind of looking too deeply into it. They're kind of taking their identity that they have and just kind of, I don't know, they're putting a label on the internet that isn't there. But we're going to talk about it. All right. Since 2018, Twitch has had a tag system that allows streamers to categorize their broadcast according to their content and give viewers at a glance idea of what they're talking about. Tags also tie into Twitch's still rudimentary but increasingly prominent recommendation system. Until very recently, blind playthrough was one of those official Twitch tags. Now, however, it's not. Blind playthrough was meant to be applied for first-time run-through games, frequently with the implication that streamers didn't want chat spoiling key story elements or trying to backseat game. Streamers and other content creators use the term pretty frequently. Recently, however, Twitch removed the blind playthrough tag following concerns about ableist language. Today, Twitch community and creator marketing director Aaron Aaron Wayne acknowledged the change on Twitter. Happy to see Twitch has listened to everyone who shared feedback and removed the blind playthrough tag to encourage more inclusive language for our community, she wrote. You can still use first playthrough or opt to use it in combination with no spoiler for the same sentiment. Previously, the blind playthrough tag received criticism over disability connotations. In June, for example, Able Gamer COO and Twitch partner Steven Spafon, I'm really bad with these last names, discussed the tag in a longer thread about disability terms and native language. Blind playthrough or going in blind can easily be replaced by saying no spoiler playthrough or undiscovered. Or first, a blind playthrough would be to turn your monitor off, and that's not what most mean, said Spawn. Just as we used to say gay when something was bad, using disability terms as an alternative word for negative situation or feeling is common in today's language. But just as we stopped saying gay to mean bad, we can stop saying these words. Think about the words you choose. Now, I credit where credit's due. He's bringing up a dialogue. He's saying something that he feels should be changed. And, he's saying why. He's saying, I think we should not use the word blind anymore. He's saying what we can use alternatively, and he gave a reason as to why to not use blind anymore. And yeah, credit to credit it's due. Twitch didn't have to do that, but Twitch chose to do that. Again, my real issue is that this is not used negatively in any way. It's just a term people have used, blind playthrough. The blind is just a more interesting and descriptive term rather than first playthrough. And I don't mind saying first playthrough in a game. I wouldn't mind tagging it. Like it's not offensive for me to use either blind or first, but at the same time, I don't know, with a word like blind, it just, I don't connotate that immediately to people who are disabled. It's just a word in our vocabulary. So that's where I start to feel uncomfortable, because people are drawing out kind of meanings from it that aren't there. But at the same time, at least with the English language, people do that all the time. It's the English language is just so, it's really, there's so many contexts that can be pulled from just simple words, but I blame the English language for that. The change is oh my God, how do you say that name? Spawn? I'm gonna say Spawn. As Spawn pointed out, kind of a no-brainer. First playthrough not only avoids adding another drop to an ocean ableist language, but it also makes more sense. If I was a Twitch outsider, I could assume that blind playthrough might refer to a number of things. First playthrough is exactly what it says on the box: somebody's first time playing through a game. And again, that's another fair point, because let's say my mother gets into video games. She's not a gamer at all. She wouldn't know what blind playthrough is. First playthrough, makes a little bit more sense. But at the same time, I see no issue with either or. I really don't. Some streamers, however, are hoping for something a little more substantial from Twitch in the future. I still wish they had a disability tag so I could find more disabled gamers on Twitch to network with, said streamer and artist Danny Dawnstar, echoing a sentiment that is not uncommon across multiple marginalized communities on Twitch. Spawn, whose organization regularly advises video game companies on these sort of issues, thinks things are headed in an encouraging direction. I'm happy to see Twitch following through on promises to addressing and resolve issues and concerns from the disability community. Spawn said on Twitter today, "It's just the beginning." All right. I'm going to try not to read articles like that all the time, because I feel like with articles like that, it really is kind of hard to start a dialogue. Because when you see the title like that, you're going to have either one opinion or another. An article like that isn't really going to change your opinion. I doubt it. It certainly didn't change mine. He made some points, and I think that's fair. I'm okay with the English language, changing its context a little bit, because there's a lot of contextual issues with the English language. A lot. People mix up words all the time. It's crazy. I'm not going to force people to change the way they say things. I'm not. And I don't know, do I have a right to say that blind playthroughs aren't offensive? I don't think I can, because in some ways, offensive content or offensive terminology is subjective for the most part. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I feel like they are subjective. It really depends on the person. But you know, again, it's not the end of the world changing something like that. I wish that situation was handled in a better way. And like, again, he had a good point. You know, he had a really good point. Like, you know, he made his point clear. I just kind of want the language to just kind of change more naturally, more smoothly. You know, things like that. I don't know. It's so weird. We used to say gossiping, and now we say spilling the tea. I know not everyone says that, but it's like, it's just one of those things people say. And it is very, very interesting. But it's just one of those things where it's like, I'm going to stand my ground on what I think, but at the same time, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. Twitch is Twitch. Twitch is going to do whatever they think. In all honest, like Twitch should do way more than just changing tags. Like, Twitch has a lot of other major issues. And I don't know whether to call Twitch a social media or not, but like, the problem with all these social media websites is that they are not they're focusing on these minute details that people really don't care about. Like, when you look at the majority of the community, they really don't care about, and they don't focus on the issues that the majority of people care about. It's weird. It's topsy-turvy. Like, articles like these are one of the issues I don't like talking about video games, because it's just, this is the majority of what people talk about. You know, it really is the majority. Like, most of this news is not interesting, and I want to find interesting things. I haven't been able to find interesting stuff recently, but I hope that brought some sort of dialogue. Again, this YouTube channel, what I'm trying to develop here, I'm trying to be just kind of as honest as I can be. I'm trying to keep things positive, but at the same time, I'm going to be honest with how I think and feel things. It's just the truth. I'm more than happy to be wrong, especially in a situation like this. I'm more than happy to be wrong. The way we use language, the way we use context, it needs to change. I'm more than happy to be wrong. I'm more than happy. But just understand, there's no malice when I say these things. There's no anger. There's no there is some frustration, but it's not towards people. It's towards the way of thinking. That way. It really is. So, again, if you say first playthrough instead of blind, I'm not gonna. I don't care. I just don't want people to take offense if I say blind playthrough, because I didn't mean any offense. I don't see any. I really don't. It's blind is just a terminology we use to describe, you know, not seeing what's ahead. It really is, you know, and yeah, we can find it in literature. We can find it in a lot of literature. We can find it in just everyday speech. So yeah. All right. So with that said, hope you have a wonderful time, and take care, folks.